Splatoon 3 is just around the corner with less than 6 months to go. Probably. So I've compiled a list of a bunch of things that need to be in this game. How likely are they to be put in? Probably no chance. So let's go. There need to be 5 main modes in this game: casual, ranked, league, practice, and rooms. The system currently in Splatoon 2 just doesn't work. It's too clunky and the game is too limited on what there is to play at any given time. Splatoon 3 scraps all of this and revamps how each mode is played. First is casual, where anyone at any time can jump into any of the available game modes. This includes Turf War, Splat Zones, Rainmaker, Tower Control, Clan Blitz, and any new mode that the game has to offer. These would not give you a rank, but would give you points to level yourself up and your gear. The better you do on your team, the more points you get. Ranked will be exactly the same as casual, except it'll rank you just like how Splatoon 2 does, even including Turf War. Turf War and Ranked will be 5 minutes, and not only does the turf on the ground count towards your points, but so do the splats your team gets and the specials that are used by your team, just to add some variety and make Ranked Turf more competitive. Your friends will also be able to join you in Ranked, but only if they're the same rank as you, which is where League comes into play. League will let you and a group of friends play any mode, and the ranking system is also just like Splatoon 2. With all 3 modes, the randomness of the game mode and map you play on is no longer random. You can now choose, and the map system is just like Mario Kart 8, where you and the other players in the lobby choose a stage and the game will randomly choose from the selection of stages. The other 2 modes are very simple. Practice simply lets you go into any stage and goof around, practice whatever you need to in any mode, and do whatever for however long you want. You can also turn on CPU to help you practice, with them being leveled 1 through 10, 1 being easiest and 10 hardest. Lastly, rooms are the replacement for private battles. You can make a room and set the rules to your liking. How about a 10-minute Splat Zones match, or a 3-minute Clan Blitz match? How about a 1v5 match, or no time at all? Want to use only sub-weapons, or how about infinite specials, or only main weapons? You can set the time of day, choose any stage, game mode, and anyone can join. You can make the rooms public, private, only for friends. It's entirely up to you. And the best part is, you still get points to level up, and the game will prevent things to where you can't grind for levels. To start off simply, each game mode needs to have a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, 4v4, and 5v5 option. Imagine Turf War with 10 people or Splat Zones with 4. The possibilities with this option are crazy. Then there are the actual brand new modes. Splatoon 2 had files for 2 modes that included a rocket and the 8-ball from the Octo expansion. I'd love to see modes based on these, and I'll put on the screen how these modes might play out. Now, this will probably not happen, but I'd love to see a PvP mode on maps exclusive to this mode. They'd be bigger maps, and everyone on each team would have a loadout of weapons of their choice. 3 main weapons, 2 sub-weapons, and 1 special weapon. You can freely switch between them at any given point in the match to add a plethora of variety to this mode. Each match is 5 minutes, and whoever gets the most amount of splats wins the match. Now how about new modes that'll really shake the game up? Seasonal events and LTMs. Imagine if we got seasonal events and things to do during certain festivities where we can unlock exclusive gear and play exclusive modes. They took a step in the right direction when handing out the festive gear sets during the first couple of years the game was out, but how about they finish things out with the seasonal events? And LTMs. This would really keep the game fresh. Weekly or even daily new small modes to play that are in the casual tab where it's just mini-games or crazy versions of Turf War or Rainmaker and such. Obviously, this game needs to add more of what was already established in Splats 1 and 2, but it also needs to make everything in place better, because, I love Splatoon, but it has so many flaws that could be made so much better, given that the team behind the game listens to the criticism. The weapons menu needs to be revamped. This right here is clunky. I want to be able to sort my weapons in a nice clean locker any way I want to. The available methods are just not good. And how about more gear customizability? I want to be able to wear masks with headphones and glasses, a jacket over my shirt, gloves, pants, socks, shoes. People's OCs that they make online are awesome, but there's no way we could do this in game. So how about giving us an option to? Then, in the same weapons locker I mentioned, let us create presets for our loadouts instead of locking them behind amiibo. There need to be way more shops in this game. There could be a hair salon to unlock new hairstyles, a makeup shop to change eyebrows, give your character scars, eye bags, change the eye masks, a store for gloves and leg wear, the basic shirts, shoes, and headgear stores. And plus, how about making an indoor mall with these stores that we can explore, and maybe even making said mall into a map. And for the hair salon, let us create a permanent color for our hair. So once you're in a match, the color of your team would be the dominant color, with the color you chose fading at the ends. But after the match, your hair goes back to its permanent color. The base stores also need to have a much bigger selection of clothing, because only having like 7 pieces of gear per day is kinda sad. And because there will be so many pieces of gear, ditch the ability system. I hate having to search for the gear I want with specific abilities I need. Why can I not just choose? It creates artificial grinding to make your perfect gear set. And the system that they have in place for the secondary slots isn't perfect, but I like how it's random in that you have to manually get perfect gear. So that stays, but the main slot needs to be customizable. Of course, we're going to need new weapons like ink swords, ink knives, anchors, hand cannons, shields, pickaxes, throwing axes, boxing gloves. All of these could be implemented to really make the meta insane. Imagine having a shield like Captain America that spreads ink when thrown, or a sword that spreads ink when swung, or even boxing gloves that spread ink when you throw hands. The ink bow is definitely awesome, and it's something I wanted, but having a new game on the same system needs to have more new weapon types than just a bow. The game needs to have a bunch of maps, with a lot returning from Splats 1 and 2. We have seen, as of now, 1 old map and 2 new maps. What if we had almost every map from both games to make the ultimate Splatoon game? That could be a huge selling point and would make the casual players love the game. Competitive players like me, maybe not so much, but I'd still love to see it, especially if some of the Splat 2 maps had a chaos theme because of the last Splatfest. Everything in Splatnet needs to be in the base game. I'd love the option to have a Splatnet 3 separately, but for God's sake, make everything in this app available to have in-game. The player could have a phone that's used as the menu, and you could put an app on it called Splatnet that allows you to see your stats. And instead of having a big-ass TV in the plaza for news, let us watch the news on our phone, and let it be optional. I cannot stress this enough, I hate sitting through this, and so does every other living being on the planet. There should be a new species, hopefully salmonlings, as that would give a lot of variety to how everyone looks in the match. And lastly, sea snails need to be easier to get after Splatfests, and Splatfests need to also have better rewards. Like, let us keep the shirts of the team we chose. That would be so cool to show everyone the teams you chose after the Splatfest is done. Okay, I talked about weapons a little bit, but this section is fully dedicated to them. First off, ditch the preset loadout system. Having a weapon that you love with it only to have a shitty kit is annoying as hell. Why can I not choose what sub and special I want? Having Booyah Bomb on my roller or Splashdown on my dualies would make me enjoy the game a hell of a lot more. And since we're ditching the preset system, let us buy subs and specials. The weapon shop could be this grand place where we can unlock and buy all this gear, and even weapon skins. They could add in so many weapon skins that would make the game so much more enjoyable, because these 3 things are the same weapon with the same sub and special, yet played out as if they're entirely different weapons. Oh, and hopefully all the subs and specials from the past games return, even if they're remixed a little differently, as we've seen with Killer Whale 5.1 and the Trizuka, along with adding a new diversity of new subs and specials. This is a long section. Oh boy. First off, an ink meter on screen. Oh, how I desperately want this. It's in the game already, story mode and Salmon Run use it, so why isn't it in the base game? I run out of ink a lot, and this would be fixed if I didn't have to look at my little character who's immersed in ink for half the match. When waiting for a battle, you have a free camera like in private battles to view the current battle, and you can also go back and view past battles in the replay mode with a free camera. In fact, the whole game needs to have a camera mode. Splatoon, while not the best looking Switch game, would really benefit from having a free camera, because the camera feature in 2 is really lacking, and it's locked behind Amiibo. Make it like Odyssey or Spider-Man's camera mode. Apartments. Everyone wants them, and it looks like we may be getting them. Little areas we can make and put some gear and weapons in, as well as buy furniture and such for it, would be such a cute little side addition. Then we can mess around in them while we wait for lobbies, and maybe even invite our friends into them. Mini games from the first game. They could have easily made a side menu for these in Splat 2, but they didn't. Bring these back to play in the waiting screen and in Splatsville. Bots need to join if someone disconnects, or let someone else searching for a match take their place instead. And how about a music feature like Smash, where we can choose how often we want to hear a song, or even turn off the music. I love Splatoon's music, but sometimes I really just want to listen to some chirpy chirps. Oh man, grab your popcorn for this one. A higher tick rate and dedicated servers. Even when I'm on my LAN cable, shit like this happens because other people's internet is trash. However, I can safely say, while betting all of my money, my girlfriend, my PlayStation, my Switch, Reese's mug, and how about even a used up candle, that this feature will not happen. No, you aren't forgotten. Salmon Run is in dire need of an upgrade. First off, ditch random weapons. I only want to use my roller, and I hate using chargers in this mode. Second off, no off time. It needs to be open every second of the day because we hate giving time off to our workers. Maps need to be random though, because I feel like if we had about 8 different maps in this mode with them all being random and not on a schedule, that could really spice up the gameplay. And how about a versus Salmon Run mode, where we verse another team and see who can get the most eggs, and the rewards this time around could be actually worth something. We could still have the monthly exclusive gear, but how about just plain exclusive gear to this mode, and even exclusive hairstyles and weapon skins? It could really spice up the game mode and make it way more appealing and worthwhile to actually pick up. So this is what I'm most excited about, but I'm also the most worried about. The story mode needs to be nothing like the first 2 games. Make it have cutscenes, make it challenging, immersive, character driven. If we can get shit like the Octo expansion, we can get a good base story mode in this game. And just to draw people in, how about exclusive things in this mode? Both Octo expansion and the base story in 2 have exclusive gear, but it's kinda lackluster. Give us all the hero weapons, gear, exclusive hairstyles and character looks, and even just in-game bonuses like the tickets from Krusty Sean and the ability chunks and shit. And side note, do not get rid of this man's food truck, he needs to stay in business. Imagine if all Nintendo themed amiibo and even some third party amiibo gave you special gear and weapons based on the respective amiibo. Samus's arm cannon, Cloud's sword, Mario's cap, Greninja's scarf. They could get so creative and actually put all of these to use again. Oh, who am I kidding? This won't happen, but hey, a guy can dream. Super moves. Yes, it's a lame name, but hear me out. A move you can only use once per game that slowly charges up after inking and splatting. It takes a while to charge, but it unleashes a huge move that's exclusive to that weapon type. So while subs and specials are able to be chosen, super moves are all assigned to said weapon type. For example, the roller class would have an instant rush of ink where they zoom across one end of the map to the other in a short time that slots anyone in its radius. Much like the killer whale, just a bit bigger. The charger class gets one huge shot that goes through any wall with infinite range. Sloshers spin in place, creating a huge circle of ink around the player and splatting anyone near. Shooters get insane fire rate for a short period of time with one huge shot that explodes at the end. And blasters get one huge shot that falls from the sky and explodes much like an Inkzuka. Again, they're a one-time per match type thing, and I feel like this would be a huge and awesome selling point of the game. It could change the entire tide of battle if used correctly, but if used incorrectly, it wouldn't really do anything drastic. Hopefully some of these things get added, and I know a lot of them were kind of big wishing, but I mean, hey, guy can dream. Comment what thing you want added to Splatoon 3, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all on the flip side.